Well, how nice of you to grace us with your presence again.
What's up, YouTube? This is your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I am back with you today to give you my review of the 1988 film Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
It's good to have you back, brother. Where did you go, anyway? Halloween 4 was written by Alan McElroy. It was directed by Dwight Little, starring Ellie Cornell, Danielle Harris, Donald Pleasence, and George Wilbur as The Shape. The Shape.
Michael! Somebody help me!
He's here to kill that little girl and anybody who gets in his way.
Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Maybe nobody knows how to stop him.
So our story begins about 10 years after the events that took place in Halloween 2. This entire time, Michael Myers has been in a coma, and right about now, he's being transported from one crazy house to another crazy house. Sometimes I think you're still in a coma. Along the way, Michael hears two ambulance attendants talking about the daughter of his previous target, Laurie Strode. This little girl's name is Jamie Lloyd, and they're talking about her being alive and well and existing and living in Haddonfield. So coma or no coma, Michael hears this conversation and comes out of his coma, jumps up and attacks the two hospital attendants, jamming his thumb into the middle of the forehead of one of them. Kind of ridiculous, literally impossible, but hooray for Hollywood. Now we jump over and we meet Jamie Lloyd. She's the little girl who was the daughter of Laurie Strode, who has now been adopted by the Lloyd family. She's portrayed by Danielle Harris. This kid's got to be 7 or 8 years old. I'm not sure exactly how old Jamie is in this movie. But she's a little whiny, pain in the ass type of kid, constantly crying about something, always screaming about something, having nightmares when she's wide awake. It's kind of annoying, to be quite honest with you. This kid is having nightmares in the middle of the day about her Uncle Michael. He's sitting in her bedroom, he's grabbing her from underneath the bed, he's hanging out in the closet, he's getting up off of the floor and staring at her. This kid has no idea this guy exists or who he is, but she's having nightmares about him. And right about now, we meet Jamie's older sister, Rachel. She's portrayed by Ellie Cornell, and Rachel was supposed to have a date with her boyfriend, Brody, this night, which is actually Halloween night. But the babysitter canceled. Now Rachel can't go out with Brody. She's got to take her little pain-in-the-ass sister trick-or-treating. And she ain't happy. I wouldn't be happy either, whiny little brat. So now it's time for Rachel to take Jamie to the store to get a Halloween costume. She takes her in the store, they separate, Jamie goes and looks at Halloween costumes, while Rachel gets to go tell her boyfriend Brody that there is no date tonight. And Brody ain't happy either. While they're in this store and Jamie's over looking at the Halloween costumes, she comes across a little clown outfit. While she's looking at this clown outfit, she gets an image of her head of a little boy, and then you see her turn around and she sees Michael Myers standing there, putting his white mask on. She starts screaming again. She breaks a mirror. Now they got to take her out of the store. This kid really is a pain in the ass. And now it's time to go trick-or-treating. So Rachel takes Jamie out trick-or-treating. While they're out, Jamie comes across a couple of her classmates that were previously teasing her, saying that Jamie's uncle was the boogeyman. Yeah, you are the boogeyman. So once she runs into these kids, the kids tell her that her clown costume is pretty cool. And they say, why don't you come with us? So they go up to knock on the door. Once they get up there to knock on that door, Rachel lags a little bit behind. She looks up there and she sees that the girl that answers the door is one of the girls that Brody works with down at the pharmacy. So once she realizes that she's there, she looks behind this girl and she sees that Brody is in the house with this girl. Can you say cat fight? So needless to say, Rachel's not very happy. She does an about-face, heads off the porch, and when she's walking away, Brody runs out the door and talks to her and says he was pissed off and says what am I supposed to do? Yeah, what was he supposed to do? I'm not saying nothing. Well, anything but that, probably. Oh yeah, Jamie. While Brody and Rachel are standing on this girl's front porch having it out, or front walk, whatever, you know what I mean, Jamie took off with those other little trick-or-treaters. She ran off without Rachel. Rachel paid no attention to her. Now Jamie's missing. Not only is Jamie now missing, she was wandering around and trick-or-treating with all these other kids. Now all those little other kids are gone, and Jamie's alone. Rachel is now alone trying to find her. There's like not another kid in sight. Where in the world is everybody? Everybody like shut and locked their doors, turned all their lights off, and now these two are the only two people wandering around in Haddonfield. Except for you, right? You were out there. Yeah, except for him. He was out there, seemingly in more than one place. Eventually, Rachel finds Jamie. Everything's fine. And then immediately after that, Dr. Loomis finds Rachel and Jamie and gets them to safety. How convenient, right? And that's it there. No more details. I don't want to spoil anything else for you. For me, this, going forward, is where the movie starts to get really good. Look, I actually really do enjoy Halloween 4, but there is a lot about it that I don't like. Obviously, I find these two kids to be incredibly annoying. Jamie more than Rachel, but Danielle Harris's character, Jamie Lloyd, in this movie, for me, was just unbelievably annoying. Always crying, constantly screaming, having nightmares, just seemed like a bratty little kid that would have driven me crazy. So I could understand why her older sister would not want to babysit her, but whatever. I know that Rachel didn't want to babysit Jamie because she had bigger and better plans with Brody. I'll put it that way. I know what they were going to do. I'd be pissed if they messed those plans up too. I don't know. I wasn't real crazy about the fact that Michael Myers was supposed to be in a coma for 10 years, and then he hears the name Jamie Lloyd and Laurie Strode, and bang, he's out of a coma, sticking his thumb through the middle of people's foreheads. I thought that was a little bit ridiculous too. I mean, granted, most things in horror movies are kind of ridiculous, but sticking your thumb through the middle of some dude's forehead after you've been laying down like a slab of meat for 10 years is a little bit too far-fetched for me. So I wasn't real nuts about that either. I didn't really care for Michael's mask in this movie either. He wore a mask that I don't even know who he looked, but he looked like a sharp-dressed man, like a nice gentleman in this mask. I've never understood. This is the mask that I remember when I think of Michael Myers. That's the mask I like. The mask changing in the later movies kind of irks me. I don't understand it. Why couldn't they just leave well enough alone? I know that that's very petty. That doesn't make the movie. The movie makes the movie. But I like the old look of Michael Myers. I don't know why they had to change it. And I did not like the mask in this movie at all. Bitching a lot. You got something to say? You didn't have anything to do with it. I really, honestly, am not too crazy about the first half of this movie. The second half of this movie is pretty cool. I like the ending of this movie. I like when everybody is aware that Michael Myers is in Haddonfield again, and he's on the loose. And I like all of the happenings in the second half of this movie. I definitely could have done without the whole first half of this movie. I haven't watched this movie in a while, and I thought I remembered this movie pretty well. And I guess I remembered the movie itself pretty well, but now that I've watched it again recently, I don't like it as much as I thought I did. It didn't age well, I'll put it that way. Ben from Cadaver Club and myself were talking on our live stream over at H&S Collectibles probably a month and a half ago. We ranked the Halloween movies, all the movies in the franchise, and he and I were talking about this particular movie being the movie that we were probably the most nostalgic about because of the time that it came out. He tells me he's 1,000 years old, so I guess that makes me about 1,000 years old too, because I have a feeling that Ben is probably in my age range. So if it was nostalgia for me and it was nostalgia for him, that's got to put him around my age. So I guess I'm 1,000 as well. But now, when I watch it again, it doesn't have the same shine as it once did. I guess the bottom line here is I do like this movie. I like it more than a few of the other movies in the franchise. I definitely don't like it nearly as much as I like other movies in the franchise. I'm kind of in the middle on it, sort of on the fence. I can just say, beyond the shadow of a doubt, without question, I didn't like this movie quite as much as I thought I did. So what do you think of that? So that's it. That's my sort of review of Halloween 4. Leave me some comments down below. Did this movie hold well for you? Did you watch this movie back in the late 80s when it came out? Did you like it more back then than you do now? Did you watch it then and revisit it and your feelings may have changed? I didn't realize that my feelings had changed for this movie so much. It's kind of weird, actually. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you guys like this video, and I bet a whole lot of you didn't, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching. You should have left that little girl alone.